Short mayor's report. Remind everybody Monday is off. We'll have a combined session Wednesday, so everyone enjoy it and be safe. And at this time, we'll get started on the consent agenda.
Under the miscellaneous category, items 2 and 3 have been pulled and will not be considered. Is there a motion for item 1?
Castex Tatum move.
Heck second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor say yes. Those opposed nay. Motion passes.
Under the accept work category, is there a motion for item 4?
Castex Tatum move.
Heck second.
Motion is made and seconded. All in favor say yes. Those opposed nay. Passes.
Under the purchasing and tabulation of bids category, is there a motion for items 5 through 11?
Castex Tatum move.
Heck second.
Motion is made and seconded. All in favor say yes. Those
Carter, no for 5 and 6.
motion.
No for 5 and 6.
Yeah.
We can only record a no on the
On the
consent
total
category.
Motion passes.
So no on all. Okay.
I'll double check with her.
Under the resolutions category, items 12, 13, 14, and 15 have been removed for separate consideration. Under the ordinances category, since your list was distributed, all items have been received. Items removed for separate consideration are 22, 23, 25, 29, 30, 32, and 38. Again, those numbers are 22, 23, 25, 29, 30, 32, and 38. Need a vote on the balance.
All in favor say yes. All opposed nay. Motion passes.
Items removed for separate consideration. Item 12 is a resolution. Just need a vote.
Thomas tags. Castex Tatum join the tag.
You tagged
12.
item tagged by Councilmember Thomas and the Mayor Pro Tem.
Item 13 is a resolution. Just need a vote.
Thomas tags.
13 tagged by Councilmember Thomas.
Councilmember Davis, you're joining?
And Davis.
Item 14 is a resolution. Just need a vote.
Thomas tags.
Thomas tags item 14
And Davis.
joined by Councilmember Davis.
Item 15 is a resolution. Just need a vote.
Thomas tags.
Thomas tags item 15
Davis.
as well as Davis tags.
Item 22 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
All in favor? You want to
After.
talk? You want to talk before and after?
After.
All in favor say yes. Those opposed nay. Item passes. Chair recognizes Mayor Pro Tem Castex Tatum.
Thank you, colleagues, for supporting this item. This is one of the tax credit senior developments that will be built in District K in partnership with New Faith Church. We are looking at $4 million of federal funds that will come to this project that is so important for our community. The seniors that live in District K that are downsizing, that want to remain in their community, they need places where they can move to and still be able to go to the places that they like to go to, that they've been accustomed to going to. They can stay in a location near their church that they've been members of for years. They can still be around their family members. However, so many of them have decided that they no longer need those 3 and 4 bedroom homes, and they want to downsize, and they want new places that they can afford and move to in the community. And I think that this senior apartment development is going to be one of the finest in our community, and we are really looking forward to having those additional 105 units of affordable places for folks to live. And these, this $4 million of federal funds is really going to be instrumental gap funding for us in the city of Houston, especially in District K. So thank you for your support.
Councilmember Thomas.
Thank you, Mayor. Congratulations, Mayor Pro Tem. And I just want to join my thanks to her comments, to our colleagues for supporting this, and the Housing Department for getting this across the line. And really, it just amplifies how important working with our faith institutions that have land to help the city meet our housing goal and our obligations, particularly with seniors that choose to age in place. And I also want to just highlight the visionary leadership of the pastoral leadership of New Faith and their willingness to do something big and daring in the community and continue to be an anchor. So I just wanted to highlight their work. Thank you much.
Thank you.
Next item.
Next.
Item 23 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
Councilmember Castillo. Oh, after the vote? After the vote.
All in favor say yes. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Councilmember Castillo.
Thank you, Mayor and colleagues. I do want to highlight the significance of this item in establishing an academic health department with our City of Houston Health Department, with UT Health. This is something that other jurisdictions have done. We now join Travis County, Fort Bend County, Dallas County, and this kind of partnership. And it's with UT Health, not just with the public health school. It's with all of the schools in their health science center, nursing, medicine, dentistry, biomedical informatics. And that is to Director Tran's credit for going beyond just the public health school here. This will allow for potential partnerships, community-driven decision-making, and also open up avenues for potential grant dollars and funding sources for our health department, which we know relies heavily on those outside funding sources. So I do want to give a shout out to Director Tran, her leadership for this. And this model can be used as a template for other academic health partnership agreements with different academic institutions, not just UT Health. So there's hopefully more to come here. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you for your remarks.
Next item.
Next.
Item 25 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
All in favor say yes. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 29 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
All in favor say yes. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
Item 30 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
All in
Tag.
favor.
Ramirez tag.
Tagged by Councilmember Ramirez.
Item 30 is tagged by Councilman Ramirez. Next.
Item 32 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
All in favor say yes. Councilman Thomas, after?
Yes.
All in favor say yes. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Councilman Thomas.
Thank you. Councilmember Jackson is not here, so I just wanted to shout out Tidwell Park, the Tidwell Aquatic Facility construction. She's been talking about this project for years and has been working on this. And so in her absence, I wanted to make sure on record that we celebrate the advancement of moving this application forward, because this is one of her priority projects for this community. Thank you.
Item 38 is an ordinance. Just need a vote.
All in favor say yes. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next.
Mayor, I did want to make a comment on item 38.
Sure. Go ahead.
This is the Fondren Road and Braeswood Boulevard project. Several of us in the community have been very concerned about the crash record in that community and what's happening. So wanted to amplify that this partnership with TxDOT and these federal dollars that we are receiving here is going to be important for us, because what's happening is we are implementing some countermeasures to the number of crashes that we've had in this area. And by upgrading these signals and refiguring the underneath the TxDOT roadways, there's some proposed ADA ramps. With ADA push buttons, we'll be able to restripe the intersection along with the necessary signs. The report is expected to achieve a 10% reduction in the total crashes, with a substantial decrease in severe turning and angle crashes. And I know that intersection has been targeted and identified as one of the most dangerous intersections. So I really thought it was important that we amplify the work that's been done for the Frondren Road and Braeswood Boulevard area with these federal grant funds through HSIP. So thank you, colleagues, for your support on this.
Thank you for your comments. Next, Mr. Secretary.
Item 40 is a motion to set a date not less than 7 days from February 11, 2026, to receive nominations for position 2 of the Port of Houston Authority of Harris County.
Cass Extate, move.
Peck, second.
Motion made and second. All in favor say yes. Those opposed, nay. Motion passes.
And this completes the items on the agenda.
Very good. What's my list?
It's right here.
Councilmember Flickinger for Popoff.
Thank you, Mayor. We've got the Clear Lake Recycling that will be held Saturday, February 14th, starting at 9 o'clock and go until 3 or until the trucks are full. And that is going to be at Ellington Air Force Base. So come on out for that. And then also Saturday, I'm going to be participating in the Steps for Students fundraiser for the Catholic schools. We had 10,000 participants last year. Looking to do even better with that. And if y'all get there early, I'll be cooking breakfast, and y'all can have a free pancake on me.
Councilman Kamen.
Thank you. Good morning. Yesterday, I was joined by Councilmember Alcorn out at Sinclair Elementary to celebrate Mr. Michael, the crossing guard. As many of you know, an unfortunate situation unfolded. We've been working with the residents in the area for years trying to get a safer crossing for the kids there, and the crossing guard had to put himself between him, some children, and a very aggressive driver. So we went out to celebrate Mr. Michael yesterday, and Commissioner Briones was there, Marlene was there, Mayor representing your office. We, in addition to having the exciting announcement, my office is contributing $60,000, and Commissioner Briones' office is also contributing money for those safety improvements. Mr. Michael actually proposed to Miss Vivian, who is the one that had gotten him the crossing guard job years ago, at the press conference, or so it was this whole very special celebration surrounded by pretty much the parents of the school. It was lovely. So congratulations to Mr. Michael and Miss Vivian, and thank you to all the parents who have just really lifted up the work and his dedication to children's safety. Our TC Jester and White Oak Bayou Safe Crossing project has been installed, so we appreciate the work, the effort to create safe connections for neighborhoods to our trails. Encourage residents to go take a look at it. It's in the boundaries within Lazy Brook Timber Grove, but it impacts Cottage Grove and the Heights, and residents that did not have a way to safely get to the trails crossing a very, very busy road. We also have the drainage component of the South Rice project, which is underway. It started last month, and then we'll do the street rehab of South Rice after that. It should take 5 to 6 months to complete, so we appreciate the department working with our businesses and schools in the area. We had, over the past month, I wanted to lift up the work related around firearm safety. We have given out over 100 free gun locks and gun safes in the past month alone. If anybody is interested in either, I know some council members have reached out asking for some to give in your communities, at your civic clubs. We're happy to provide those. We're happy to come out to any group to talk about education. And Councilmember Davis, what a terrific town hall you had in District C. So thank you for coming to District C, lifting up West Gray, and having just all the departments there was wonderful. We appreciate that. Lastly, the District C annual 2025 report is out. It does take a month concluding the year because we have so much to document to get get that report out, so you can find that on our website or email us or join our email list so you can get a copy of it, districtc@houstontx.gov. Have a wonderful day. Happy Valentine's Day to my special Valentines, my Slade, Matt, and of course my daddy.
Very well. Councilmember Huffman.
Thank you. And Mayor, I know your commitment to homelessness in the city, a lot of effort has gone into it, and we really appreciate that. But what we're seeing on the west side of Houston is an increase in the unhoused and the encampments that we're having out there, especially right at Voss and San Felipe, and then at Beltway 8 and I-10, there's a detention basin there. We also have a homeless encampment up under the Katy Freeway, and HPD has been great in going out there and every time that we ask them, but we need TxDOT's cooperation in this. Under the I-10 freeway, the last time HPD went up there, there were 2 wanted felons living up there, and it's dangerous, obviously, to have them up there. We need that area secured. We need, TxDOT, we had talked to them originally about maybe moving the hatch to make it less easy for people to access it. But then that detention basin at I-10 and the Beltway, it's fenced off, but the fence has been cut, and so there's an encampment in there too. And we've seen a rise in crime in the area lately. When last time HPD went back in there was a bunch of bikes that had been stolen. They were kind of being stored back there. So any help that we can get on the west side, we'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
Contact with TxDOT. Obviously, they're good partners, and HPD, as you say, has been responsive. It just points to the need for emancipation and other shelters or transition living, which we're actively working on. Councilmember Carter is leading the effort to get more than one additional housing proposal for the homeless with treatment. Certainly the warming center, certainly Fondy, Moody Park, West Gray. It was full of primarily homeless people, and it was heartbroken and concerning that when the temperature lowered, they were returned to the streets of Houston. We must have a better plan, which we do, but it's going to require resources. We're working actively with HUD. Our team is going to Washington next week. We're very optimistic that HUD has seen our plan. They're visiting our locations, and it's just going to require us all working together to not scatter the homeless because of intervention, but to have a destination. We're currently using the Sobriety Center, the Navigation Center, Houston Harris Health, but there's just a demand, and there has been for years, for people. When I leave around 7 o'clock and go around the corner by the library, we've got to address the feeding of the homeless at that location. And I hope, I want to invite y'all to watch what is happening as we talk at Tranquility Park. That park for years has been ignored. It was becoming a homeless encampment. The fountains weren't working. I can go on and on. That's a separate subject that we're very proud of. But, it's amazing in the shadows of City Hall, across the street, the neglect that's been allowed, and it was brought strongly to our attention by the Hobby Center. It had become an issue. And I would ask you to go on down Bagby and look at the Bio Place overhang. Remember how horrible that was? Drive by it today at Allen's Landing. So we're moving in the correct direction. Strong plans being carried out. Central Houston's been a partner of addressing the homeless. But you're right. It's out in the neighborhoods, under the freeways. I see it across the street from the Oak Forest Library. A lady camped out there for months, and she'd be removed. She returned. So we need a destination for the homeless where they can receive mental health services, drug and alcohol. You can't imagine how many, when you visit the homeless in the warming centers, they need an ID so they can apply for work. And I've raised hell for years with the prison system not to release someone without a Social Security, a driver's license, and what I call being street ready. They also need a reentry location. So thank you. It's a passion of mine, and I'll work with you to get TxDOT to focus on that location, but that's not the ultimate solution, as you know. Thank you for your cooperation. Councilmember Ramirez.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to give a shout out to a staff member, Sarah Davidson. Sarah, would you stand up? Sarah's been with us for quite a while now. She's done excellent policy research and constituent work, and sad to say she'll be leaving us. She's taken a position at the Baker Institute at Rice University as a research analyst. We'll be working with Bill King. So thank you, Sarah, for your service to the city. I think in your next position, you'll still be helping out the city with the research you're doing. So we'll be anxious to see your progress as you go along throughout your career. But thank you for your service to the city. Last thing I want to say is I'll be out at Eagles Trace tonight, Super Neighborhood 17 meeting, speaking to that group. Look forward to that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Thomas.
Thank you. First, congratulations are in order for Christian Menifee. He was elected to fulfill the remaining term of the late Sylvester Turner on Saturday, January 31st. He was sworn in by the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, on Monday, February 2nd. And Congressman Menifee has a small connection to the West Side. Prior to moving to CD 18, he attended Alief Hastings High School. This is a reminder to residents as we enter and prepare for the March 2026 primary with the off-cycle redistricting. It's really important for you to check and verify your voter registration to know so you are informed about who you get to vote for. In District F, due to the redistricting, we now have 4 congressional members, so it's important for you to be clear that this election is like no other. I also want to highlight some of the work that I mentioned last week about the apartment inspection ordinance that we are working through. There are 2 community meetings that have been scheduled. We have shared this information on Thursday, February 19th at 6 o'clock at the Alief Neighborhood Center. And then Thursday, March 5th at 6 p.m. at the Harris County Department of Education at 6300 Irvington. City Department representatives will be there. We'll have translation services. This will be live streamed from HTV, so we can hear from you. If you are a leaseholder, property manager, owner, operator, we are inviting you to join us so we can massage the proposed language and make sure that before this item gets to the joint committee between housing and economic development, that it has the best reflection, and you get to hear from city departments about the current rule on the books and then how we move forward with enforcement. So everyone is on the line. Excited to deploy this with Mayor Pro Tem. I think we're going to have a robust conversation. Council members, we are instructing, inviting particular districts at certain days. They are not limited to that, but for convenience, because we are looking to move this item to committee quickly so we can go to a vote within the 30 days. So I want to encourage you to send this out through your newsletter, your social media, and we hope to have you in attendance as well so you can listen to some of your constituents' concerns around public safety, quality of life, habitability, and more. Number 4, okay. I also want to talk about council district service funds as we move forward in fiscal 27 next summer. Currently, we have proposed in the queue $276,000 panel replacement of Braeswood Estates, a $230,000 sidewalk on Lima Drive, and 51 speed cushions in Leawood that cost $242,000. That already puts us at $518,000 of our council district service funds for the next fiscal year. If you are a subdivision, and I've instructed you to do an audit of your community, Ashton Village Section 6 in Tanglewild, I want to ask you to move expeditiously to get that information into 311 so we can make sure that we have a cost estimate and we are ready for construction as we move forward in July 1. I want to close out my remarks with community and cultural celebrations happening throughout the city and on the west side. We know it's Mardi Gras, y'all, and as a New Orleanian, we know we gotta celebrate. Texas and Louisiana has a shared relationship around that celebration. And so if you're in the mood for some king cake, you can always try out Three Brothers Dessert Gallery or our beloved HEB. But if you're like me, you're going to order that from New Orleans, so you can go to Gambino's, Randazzo's, or Loretta's, and you'll get it for Fat Tuesday. Happy Mardi Gras, y'all. Also want to shout out Lunar New Year is coming. Many of you will be on the west side this Saturday on Valentine's Day at the Chinese Community Center from 10 to 4. At 9800 Town Park, and also at the 29th Annual Texas Lunar Festival on Saturday at the same time at the A-Leaf Advanced Career Center at 1216 Richmond. I will be at the grand opening ceremony on February 26th. Happy Chinese New Year to all that participate. So 2026 was rough for y'all, and it was. You get to start over on Chinese New Year. I also want to highlight, again, as we continue to celebrate Black History Month, I want to thank the Houston Public Library for their author talk at Julia Idison on Saturday with Michael Harriot. It was great. It was phenomenal. Thank you for your exceptional programming. And then you all can join me on February 19th at the West Chase Robinson Library, where I'll be reading during Black History Month, and then I'll also be at O'Donnell Middle School later that evening for their Black History program. I believe that's it. If there's anything that I can do on the west side, please do not hesitate to reach out to District F at houstontx.gov. Thank you.
And thank you for your leadership, particularly you and the Mayor Pro Tem having the community engagement meetings on the housing, excellent deliberative way to reach the best product, and I plan to be there to listen.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Council Mayor Pro Tem Castig-Statham.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Thomas, thank you for amplifying that Christian won the election. I love to tell people that I know many of us participated in Leadership Houston. He's my Leadership Houston Class 36 best class ever classmate. But also think it's important that we do continue to encourage people to understand what's happening with this next round of elections starting February 17th, early voting. Our lines have changed, and so people need to understand whether or not they are in the 18th, that the 9th has moved to Liberty, Texas. So make sure you are checking your address, checking your voting status, so that you don't miss the opportunity to decide who you would like to see to represent you in this next election. And then I want to let residents know that on Saturday, February the 21st, in partnership with New Faith Church, we will have another shred day. We had lots of folks come by. Some folks called us and told us they forgot, and they still have lots of stuff they want to shred. It's not limited to folks in District K, and we have plenty of capacity. So I want people to understand, if you have items you want to get shredded, on Saturday, February 21st from 9 to 12, we'll be at New Faith Church at 4315 West Fuquay Drive. And it's a drive-through. You can drop your things off. It's shredded on site. And we're happy to provide that service to our community members. Councilmember Thomas already talked about the dates for our apartment inspection ordinance community meetings. I'll reiterate that as February 19th from 6 to 8 at the A-Leaf Neighborhood Center, March 5th from 6 to 8 at the Harris County Department of Education on Irvington. Look for some additional communication in our newsletters and also online as we encourage the tenants, the landlords, the owners, the property managers, all of the stakeholders to participate in these two meetings so that we can have a comprehensive ordinance to move forward for the city of Houston. And then, colleagues, remember we voted on our donation box ordinance. We've seen an increase in donation boxes just being dropped on properties. Those property owners have to agree to have those donation boxes on their property. If there is not an orange decal that says they have paid and permitted those donation boxes, we can have them removed. We're finding that these donation boxes have become magnets for illegal dumping. We want to make sure that these property owners that come to their place of business and all of a sudden there's a donation box on their property, there is a mechanism in place to get those removed. So if you see these unpermitted boxes, call it in the 311. You can call our office. We're happy to help usher those and get those donation boxes removed. If they do not have the orange sticker on front of the donation box, it's an unpermitted box, and we need to get those out of our communities. Then want to tell the folks in Westwood and Willow Meadows, if you see neighborhood crews, there are some repairs being done to the outfalls. This is some drainage and infrastructure work happening through Public Works. That work started on February the 2nd. We received a couple of calls about folks out there in those areas, but it is because we are repairing those drainage outfalls to reduce structure flooding and making sure we are prepared for future rain events. And Friday, as we continue celebrating Black History Month, very excited about the Go Trail Riders event happening at the Hiram Clark Multi-Service Center. I'll be there from 1 to 4. There'll be story time, petting zoo, tech link activities. Mayor, and I think that I know we talked about this last week, what great programming the Houston Public Library is curating for Black History Month, but want to continue to amplify that and encourage Houstonians to participate. Valentine's Day is coming up. Thank you, colleagues, for the wonderful gifts. And y'all have a happy Valentine's Day, and of course, be kind to each other.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Pro Tem Peck.
Thank you, Mayor. We have a tax credit proposal in District A, the Vista Arbor Trace on Conrad Sauer, and our neighbors from Royal Oaks and Shadow Oaks are going to host a meeting on Tuesday, February 17th at 6:30 p.m. With the developers. That will be at Fairhaven Church, 1330 Gessner. So if you would like to hear more about the proposal, I encourage everyone to attend that meeting. Thank you.
Councilman Martinez.
Thank you, Mayor. In celebration of Lunar New Year, I'm participating in a gift distribution with one of our Vietnamese American communities at St. Joseph Condominiums. I'm excited to be able to do this, but I also want to just give a quick shout out to Deputy Dow Nguyen with Constable Precinct 2, Jerry Garcia's office, for helping organize this. Also, ahead of Valentine's Day, my team and I were continuing to visit with our seniors and essentially, want to make sure that we give them their flowers literally, but also, of course, figuratively. I always enjoy spending time with our seniors. A lot of the times, when they're meeting together, they find that joy in being able to come together alone, but when someone else goes to visit them, it's a reminder of that family unity that I know many times also need as well. And then with that, I just want to wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day. A reminder that we need to show some love to the city of Houston. We can do that by reporting to 311 as well. Thank you.
Very well, Councilman Pollard.
Thank you, Mayor. I first want to start by highlighting that my office was able to give $25,000 to the Houston to HMAC, the Houston Museum of African American Culture. That was the first allocation of public dollars that museum has ever received. They told me that they were the only African American museum around the country that does not get public dollars, and so we were ecstatic that we were able to do that for them. Those dollars will go towards these virtual reality headsets that we will be able to take to schools, libraries, community centers all over the city, but specifically in J-City, that will bring those students in the community to the museum without having to actually be there. So big shout out to HMAC. If you have not been to the Houston Museum of African American Culture on Caroline Street, I encourage you all to please go visit. Last night I was excited that Club Creek Park, which is a park in J-City near 59 and Bissonnette, was awarded the top open space in Houston award last night by the Urban Land Institute. and there was a big reception at the Good Company off of Kirby. And I want to give a huge shout out to TERS 20, the City of Houston Parks and Recs Department, SWA Group, Millis Development and Construction, Walter P. Moore, the Harris County Flood Control District, E&C engineers and consultants, and specifically my office staff and my Chief of Staff, Paul Young. We did a lot of work at transforming that green space off of Club Creek into one of, I think, Houston's most special parks. Not only is it a detention basin to help with flood mitigation, but there's also hike and bike trails, playground equipment, exercise equipment, and the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, which is probably one of my proudest accomplishments as a council member, is constructing that Vietnam Veterans Memorial to ensure that all the veterans from the Houston area have a proper welcome home and a proper thank you for their service. We've been notified that we are now going to be switching to an on-call heavy trash strategy. I'm hopeful that that works, but I do want to be on the record as saying I don't agree with that route. I don't have confidence in it, and I hope I'm proven wrong. But I do think there's other ways in which we can address the heavy trash and tree waste problem that is rampant all throughout the city. Mayor, again, I want to stress that my office still wants to utilize our council district service fund dollars for overtime with HPD. Since I've been on council, my office has been able to put forth a lot of dollars towards overtime for community patrol and presence within our neighborhoods. And over the past year or close to a year, we have been prohibited from putting forth our overtime dollars in our district. And that is a real detriment to the residents of J-City. And I'm not sure why I'm the only office that is prohibited from giving those overtime dollars, but when it is already shown that the city is going above budget when it comes to overtime, and that we understand that these neighborhoods need as much presence as possible to address public safety, I'm asking again that you approve the overtime funding that my office has budgeted for community policing in J-City. Tonight I will be the speaker for the Black History program at Houston Christian University. That is something I look forward to doing every single year. I do want to give a shout out to the crew of Porus. They put on a Mardi Gras gala, the first inaugural Mardi Gras gala in the city of Houston that was at the Thompson Hotel. They did a phenomenal job at putting that together, so props to them. And to everyone, happy Valentine's Day. Thank you.
Councilman Alcorn.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, I was happy to represent you at the Houston-Galveston Area Council Parks and Natural Areas Awards program. And the park you just mentioned, Club Creek won an award there, too, for the projects over $500,000. That is a great park, and the Vietnam Memorial's really cool, too. Also winning awards were Burnett Balin, Columbia Tap, Camden Park, Lockwood Park, Wassaw Park, Pittner Pocket Park, A-Leaf Pocket Prairie, and Greens Up, Greens Bayou. Another thing that happened yesterday was the maps, the FEMA maps. The draft has been released, although search as I will on the FEMA site, it's not really user-friendly to find. My best way to kind of look at the new maps is on the Chronicles interactive map. You can literally put in an address, and it'll tell you whether you've moved up, like from the 500 to the 100, or you've gone from the 100 to the 500, or if you're not in, if there was no change at all, if you're not in it. But I think there's going to be a more public. It sounds like there's going to be a more public, user-friendly release coming soon. The Commissioners Court will be discussing the maps at Commissioners Court this week. So stay tuned on Atlas 14.
Thank you, Councilman Salinas.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm excited to share that our office will be launching our monthly office hours on February 19th from 3 to 7 p.m. I will be available to meet with anyone in the community that would like to meet. You can visit our website to sign up, but we hope folks in the community that have any questions or want to learn more about City Hall or share their issues will do so. And I'm thrilled to share that we have the 2 newest members of our team here, if they can stand up. Bryce Randall is our new Policy and Advocacy Director, and he is joining us from Commissioner Ellis's office. And Ashley Guevara is joining us from Lone Star College, and she is our new Operations and External Affairs Director. They are phenomenal young leaders. I am thrilled to have them on the team, and they are excited to do the people's work. Thank you.
Sounds great. Councilmember Carter?
Thank you, Mayor. To acknowledge Councilmember Huffman, although she's left the room, her comments on the homeless. Just this morning, coming down Capitol, turning onto Main, they're everywhere, right? We're starting to see them, in more pockets than maybe before, but I think the awareness really makes you look around, just the conversation. But we've got to stay focused, and certainly we're making progress on that front with other facilities and continuing those conversations and to pursue that. But certainly it's going to take participation, and it's going to take everyone working together. And when it comes to, funding, we need to be sure that we're looking at what we're funding. When we're funding park supplies, when we're funding, contraception, we need to be sure that we're voting to fund to help our homeless population. On that note, the pit count is, February the 24th through the 26th. Training, there's one, I think tomorrow is the final virtual training for that. My team will be participating in the pit count. It's one thing to talk about the homeless, it's another to go out and to see them and to see who's out there. Certainly, the street feeders, ironically enough, I meet with street feeders a lot, and I've had a couple of them have called me this past week and said, hey, can you help us to help understand what it is we're trying to do, because we're not feeding just the homeless anymore. We're feeding those who literally come out of the woodwork. And this is the group over on Congress. I've been in active conversation to try to figure out, can we get them to a consolidated site where the cleanup isn't just so vast that it's costly, and it's becoming an issue even without loaves and fishes. Once Emancipation gets online, I know we'll be in a better place, but this is a topic that we're going to continue to have to tackle, and I know you are, and I know around this horseshoe everyone is, but it's citywide. It's not limited to downtown. It's not limited to District G. It's in E. It's everywhere. And I think holistically, we've got to continue to look at a big picture, reentry being a huge part of it. When you talk to people that don't have an ID, they don't have the resources to get to where they need to get an ID, it's a problem. And it's a huge conversation. And it's not an overnight fix, and it's not a one-stop solution. There are many aspects to tackle, whether it's the reentry or the respite care. It's the big picture. But on that note, today I'm happy to represent your office at the United Way for the 211 Day. And 211, in case you don't know, is the helpline for United Way to gain access for food, child care, resources for the aging, domestic violence. It's their helpline, and certainly that's a great service to the city. Again, pit count, if you haven't gone on the pit count with Coalition for the Homeless, I strongly encourage everyone to do so. And also, too, when you start to identify other pockets in your community, I know you all work with the Coalition, but, I call them and say, here's a new group, and try to make sure that they're seeing these new encampments and these new pocket communities of the homeless, because I really believe it's because we're having the conversation, the awareness is making us really look at it. So thank you.
Thank you for your leadership. Councilor Evan Schwartz.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to first start out saying that the Jack Yates alumni gathered at Wheeler Avenue Baptist Church this past Sunday to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Jack Yates Senior High School, a century of excellence, resilience, scholarship, leadership, and pride. For 100 years, Jack Yates has produced educators, judges, artists, pastors, physicians, engineers, elected officials, entrepreneurs, and community builders. It is more than a school, it is an institution, it's more than an education, it's an experience. A training ground for excellence, a pillar of Third Ward. The Centennial was not simply a celebration of the past, it was a declaration about the future. Also, on this Friday, Channel 39 will have a 1-hour video participation, a love letter to JY. See, y'all, we love Jack Yates, as y'all know, JY for life. And it's a call to alumni to come out and celebrate the love for Jack Yates. It will be at 9 a.m. at the New School, 3650 Alabama, in the lobby. And so 100 years later, the Lions are still roaring, and District D is proud to be the home of this historic legacy. On this evening, Museum Park Super Neighborhood Council will have a virtual meeting from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. On tomorrow, the State of the NAACP Houston branch will be at the Ensemble Theater from 5:30 to 8, 3535 Main Street. This is an annual address that will highlight the Houston branch's priorities and ongoing work in civil rights, economic equity, and community empowerment. On next Thursday, the Arts and Culture Committee meeting will take place from 2 to 3 here in the chambers. The committee will continue discussions on programming, investments, and strengthening Houston's cultural ecosystem. On Thursday, February the 19th, from 5 to 7 p.m., there will be a financial readiness tackling barriers to home ownership at the Blue Triangle Community Center, 3005 McGowan Street. And this workshop will provide residents with tools around financial literacy, credit readiness, and sustainable pathways to ownership. I want to thank my colleagues, Councilmember Martinez and Councilmember Pollard, for the wonderful Valentine's expressions. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. And I'll take that candy for Councilmember Jackson since she's not here. Okay. Yeah, I'm just saying. District D continues to lead honoring legacy, engaging residents, and creating opportunity. Thank you, colleagues. And this concludes what's going on in the District of Destination.
Thank you. Councilman Castillo.
Thank you, Mayor. This past Saturday, I participated in the African American Literature Read-In at the Carnegie Library, put on by Houston Public Library Systems to celebrate Black History Month. I do want to thank Director Goff for being present at the event as well and hosting it at Carnegie, and all of the community members who showed up. I was able to read some African proverbs, and it was a great experience. It was my first time participating at the read-in. So I look forward to doing more of the Black History Month events in District H. This coming Tuesday, February 17th, there will be a town hall at Moody Park with Commissioner Garcia's office, Houston Parks Department, myself, around the agreement for Precinct 2 to maintain and operate Moody Park. This is going to be an opportunity for the community to learn about this transition and also ask questions. I know we've been getting a few already, and hear directly from the folks that are involved in this as we look to a new phase for Moody Park, and one where the park will continue to be utilized by community members and groups, and see some upgrades and some improvements coming its way. That will be Tuesday, February 17th at the Moody Park Community Center. And then finally, the PetSet mobile unit for spay-neuters is going to be at 2 locations coming up for District H residents that do require appointments. So I want to encourage folks, if you're looking for low-cost spay-neuter services that includes vaccine and microchips, February 13th and 16th, they will be at Wabash Feed and Garden off of Shepherd. February 20th and 22nd at Zoomies in 2nd Ward off of Canal. You can go to petset.org/spay-neuter to reserve your appointment. They are available from 6:45 a.m. All the way to 4, and this is for District H residents only to receive the spay-neuter services. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Councilmember Davis.
Thank you, Mayor. To all, I just want to begin by thanking everyone who came out to our town hall meeting on Monday night in the Montrose at the Metropolitan Multi-Service Center. We take a lot of pride in presenting these town hall meetings. As we started, this is the beginning of the year of 2026 in our town hall meeting, and we are very proud of the work that we do in participating with allowing the community to engage with us, which is critical to all of us as we serve our city. We had a little over 150 people in total attendance. We were able to provide a forum to those who attended to voice their concerns and ask questions about city government. I want to thank our department officials, panelists, and facility staff for making our event a success, because we couldn't do it without the participation from the departments of our city. I also want to thank Councilmember Abby Kamen, and also who joined us, and Councilmember at Large Sally Alcorn, both of them for speaking at the event, and had members representing from Councilmember Ramirez's office and Councilmember Carter's office. I want to thank them for participating and joining us. I like to also want to thank KHOU for covering our event and emphasizing some of the advancements and the changes that's being participated through solid waste. I want to thank them for that, because that has been such a big issue as we hear it often around the horseshoe, and so we're grateful for that. I also want to thank Nathan Kelly and the Blazer Building for sponsoring our event and helping to pay for and facilitate some of the catering that we had from Cafe Ginger. One last shout out I'd like to give is to our wonderful volunteers, the people who came to help and assist us. We try to get the community engaged in much of what we do, and so I want to thank Monica Mason and the volunteers at the Young Society of Houston who came out and served, which was really, really a big help, and we thank them. Our next town hall meeting will be in May at the Chinese Community Center in Southwest Houston, and we look forward to bringing City Hall once again to that area and to that community, which is what we generally try to do. I also, in my last statement, I want to lift up two particular things. Number one is that we've started the initiative of the PPP. I talked about this last year in presenting stats on the increase of crime among young people, which deals with police and other faith leaders as well as business people in the community. So we're going to be rolling that out through our Minister Advisory Board, and we're grateful for that, and certainly working with HPD. We also are in the process of planning our second annual financial symposium on banking in your business, which was a very huge turnout last year. We did the first one, and we had an attendance of about 347 people that attended, businesses, non-for-profits, for-profits, businesses of all denominations, all businesses culture-wide. And it was a great, great turnout, and we want to do it again. I hear often around the horseshoe about monies and what we spend, and as I often say, the city don't have all the money, the county don't have it, banks got the money. I think that we have to educate ourselves around the Community Reinvestment Act, which is a federal law. We often talk about what the federal government does. We talk about cuts, but let's talk about what the federal government is required to do, and that is by them to tell banks they're required. You follow the law. It doesn't ask them to do it. It says they're required to invest in our community, whether it be housing projects. When I heard Mayor Pro Tem talk about the New Faith Church and their project, those are the type of things that we need to see get done in all of our communities. But the people who help us to do that are the people with the money, and it is the bank. So we thankful for that, and we'll be hopefully rolling that out very soon. But that will be all. Thank you.
Thank everyone. We're going to stand adjourned to Wednesday, February 18th, 9 a.m. for a consolidated session. Everyone be safe.